west. Time to get yourself all dressed. Time to get your shiny dance shoes on, 'cause everybody's jumping at Jax. All the kids are coming down just to take the swinging sound. You can hear the band from miles away, 'cause everybody's jumping at Jax. Here's a little well-known secret. Sure as there's the sky above,
nothing could be any sweeter
than dancing with the one you love. When life is like a sour note, here's a happy antidote. Come to where the party never ends, 'cause everybody's jumping at Jax.
Hey there, friends and family. Welcome to Campus JAX. Glad you're here tonight for something I've been looking forward to. Yeah, it's a very special night, Dave, because not only do we have the Dave MURDY Trio, comprised right here of Bob Elefanti on bass, Jacobs on drums, and of course, Dr. Dave MURDY on guitar. But it's the Dave MURDY Trio. But when you think of trio, it's kind of like when the planets line up. It's like one of those, like a galactic event when things happen. Because we're also in the middle of the Dave MURDY trifecta. Last night was Dave MURDY with Matt Mauser and the part of our Jax duos. Tonight we have Dave MURDY Trio as part of our Steamers Jazz at Jax series. Tomorrow night we have Dave MURDY and that little band he's in called the Tijuana Dogs. That is a Dave MURDY trifecta, friends, and that never happens. This is like a rare occurrence. It's like, I don't know, the eclipse or something is happening. It's a Dave MURDY eclipse, that's what it is. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it tonight. These guys are always great to have. Glad all of you are here with us. And I don't know, I think we have a few surprises and new songs tonight too. So looking forward to hearing some of this, just hearing some good improvisational music, because these guys do that exceptionally well. So would you welcome the Dave MURDY Trio?
I think I turned it. Oh, there it is. You have to turn it on. See, that's the thing. Technology, it's tricky sometimes. If you want it to work, yeah, on and off. You got to turn it from off to on. Oh, Jake's monitor's off, Golden. So. You got no bass back there? All right. We're gonna go for it. That's the way it goes. While she's coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, Golden, the sound lady for tonight. How about it for her? Yeah. That worked out. See, she got an introduction too, so yeah. We might as well get it right. We did a sound check, for Christ's sake. Oh, now we got to stall, tell a joke or something. Well, I'll just set up the first tune. So anyway, we're going to play a lot of original music tonight, and the first one that we're going to do is a composition of mine that's kind of on the Latin side, and it's called How About It? Thank you. That was called How About It? And that little percussion introduction from Mr. Jake Jacobs, everybody. Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to a composition of mine right now, another composition of mine. I'm being greedy up front. And this is something that Baba and I recorded on an album, well, I don't know, God, it's almost about 30 years ago now. This is crazy. We had a trio called Toxic Jazz, and this was the lead-off track, and it's a tune of mine called Sketches. Bob Elefante. Safe. I'm always happy when we finish those up. These, you know, just, let's just say that one isn't Mustang Sally. It's a little trickier. Oh, God, you front-loaded me on this gig. Jake. I'm going to set this one up, but I got to get the chart out. So we're doing another one. I guess we're doing mine all up front. Like I said, Jake, he's a great organizer. Jake Jacobs back there playing a little groove. He does the song list. So I guess we're getting the tough ones out of the way. This tune that we're going to do right now, we do it every time that we're here. And Kirsten always sings the little melody when I walk in. She says when she sees me, she thinks of this. It's a dedication piece that I wrote to the great Magic Johnson, my favorite basketball player of all time. And it's simply entitled The Magic Man. big hand for Tim, the Magic Johnson highlights in the background. Did you get this kind of a program, okay, you got the idea. With the ball, the magic stuff, yeah. Anyway, I started that piece, I remember in November of 1991, he announced, some of you who remember back then, I know my students who are here were not even born, but he announced that he had tested positive for HIV and he retired from basketball. And I started this piece, but I couldn't finish it. I don't know why, I just didn't. And then in 1996, a few years later, he returned for a short time, and that's when I finished it. And so, anyway, The Magic Man. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, time for a Baba Elefante composition. And I'm going to let these guys set it up because I'm going to go purple here for a second. But this is a tune by Baba with a New Orleans kind of vibe. And it's called So What? Bob Elefante, Soul What? Bob is a big fan of the Big Easy. He's been there a bunch of times. You've seen him dancing around in Mardi Gras, wearing next to nothing. What's that? He collects beads. Oh my goodness. We gotta watch it up here, Baba. We've got students. Pardon me while I get the next. This stuff is hard to memorize. That's why we're reading. I wish. There we go. Okay, we're going to do another. Boy, all my stuff is at the front end. Here's another tune of mine that I recorded even before we recorded that jazz record. I did it on a solo album that had an opportunity. Actually, real fast, it's an interesting story. I went and saw a guy who had a small jazz label in Orange County. It was called Sexton Records. And I have a lot of students from Orange Coast College here tonight. Let me hear you shout out Orange Coast College, right? And how I got there, I grew up in LA County, and I went and saw this guy, and he said, "Oh, I really like your guitar playing." And I said, "Oh, thank you." He goes, "Do you teach?" And I thought he meant for himself. I thought he wanted private lessons. I said, "Yeah, I've been teaching privately for a long time." He goes, "Well, no, I mean, do you do any?" I was in my 20s, you know. I just moved to Orange County, and he said, "Do you do any classroom teaching?" I said, "Never have." He goes, "Well, I teach this class at Orange Coast College. It's called Studio Guitar." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's interesting, because that was I went to USC. That was the name of the program. It's changed its name since then, but that was the program I was in." He goes, "Yeah, I can't keep teaching the class. I'm going back to law school. I'm going to be a music attorney, and I need to can I recommend you?" And I said, "Where's Orange Coast College?" I had no idea where it was. But I went over and met with the then chairman of the program, and it's just, since doing that, I met so many amazing musicians that went there at one point in time or another. So eventually he said, "Would you like to do, if you'll do a straight ahead jazz record, I'll put it out." And I thought, okay. So I did this album, and I wrote some music from it. And one of those tunes from way back when, that was like 1991, dating myself, is a little tune in 3 that I wrote called "Suspend Me Not." We're going to play it right now. Thank you. Suspend Me Not. I don't even know if I said the title. Now that I think about it, we were going to play that at the last gig, but we didn't get to it. So I think that's the first time after all these years that I've ever performed that tune. So it's going to happen twice tonight. I'll explain that later. So, yeah, anyway. My old neighbor, Kathy. How you doing, Kathy? She's moving around. So anyway, yeah, what's next? Oh, we're not making it any easier for ourselves, are we? All right, we're back to Baba. And I got to just say, and this sets up this tune really well. Baba is a beautiful cat, man. He's just a beautiful cat. Is he not a beautiful cat? And when I say that, precursor to this tune we're going to set up, it's a composition of his. We have to really strap ourselves in for this one. It's called A Cat's Night Out. That's a live fade out. You don't normally do a fade out live. You do it in recording and you bring the master fader down. Well, that's the way you used to do it back in the old days. Now you just automate it in Pro Tools and it does it for you. Anyway, we've come to a vocal point in the evening, which I'm happy to, bring it up a little bit. Okay, so anyone that knows me knows I'm a big Steely Dan fan. And I know we've got some in the house, right? Where are you? Come on, don't be shy. Fans of the Dan, I know you're out there. Damn, I'm parched. I gotta sing. So, what? No, we're not doing Fly Me to the Moon. I do Fly Me to the frickin' moon all the time. Anyway, smart ass. So, Steely Dan was a band in the early days, right? And they made records, and then they toured a little bit, and they got sick of touring. And the two guys that wrote all the music, Donald Fager and Walter Becker passed away a few years ago, they just started hiring any musician they wanted to. They had a great budget, they were selling albums. But we're gonna do a tune from their last studio album, where they were still a band. And we're gonna do the title track off of that album, which is, go ahead. Pretzel Logic, man knows his damn. We're gonna play a tune called Pretzel Logic. Boys, if you'd be so kind. Southland in a traveling missile show. Yes, I'd love to tour the Southland in a traveling missile show. Yes, I'm trying to be a star and make them laugh. Sound just like a record on the phonograph. Those days are gone forever, over a long time ago. Oh yeah. Well, hey, yeah, I've never met Napoleon, but I plan to find the time. I have never met Napoleon, but I plan to find the time. Yes, I do. 'Cause he looks so fine upon that hill. They tell me he was lonely. He's lonely still. Those days are gone forever, over a long time ago. Oh yeah. Yeah. Platform, the man gave me the news. He said, you must be joking, son. Where did you get those blues? Where did you you get those shoes? Well, I see them on the TV, the movie show. Say the times are changing, but I just don't know. Those things are gone forever, over a long time ago. Oh yeah. But oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, pretzel logic.
Steely Dan, thank you.
All right, Jake, I think you've got someone to introduce, don't you? Yeah. Quite a chore crawling out from behind that drum set, actually. Careful, don't hurt yourself now.
Good evening, everyone. How about a hand for Bob Elefante on bass? Dave Murdy on guitar. Some drummer back there, I don't know. Hey, my name's Jake Jacobs, and I used to teach at a music conservatory. And the next person that we're bringing up two people from the conservatory that I taught at. And Bob is still teaching there. And both of these guys are individual players. They're also very incredibly talented at such a young age, and it gets me angry. I want to cut their legs off. But I love them. And so the first student that's coming up, his name is Keelan Lamb. So Keelan came and studied with me for around 2 or 3 weeks, and then he said, I want to go to preview day at this conservatory and check out the programs that are going on. And the program that I was teaching on was popular music, and he went into that meeting, and he came out and he said, I don't want to go to that one. I want to check out the jazz program. I'm like, okay. And he comes out a half hour later, and he goes, I want to play in the jazz conservatory. And I'm like, well, Keelan, you've been playing for like 3 weeks, and come on, man. You know, I said, jazz is the most complicated drumming in the world. And he goes, yeah, and? I'm like, okay, great. So his parents said, okay, we want to double up the lessons. We have 4 weeks to prepare for the audition. And I give him an assignment. The first day, I said, okay, I want you to come in and tell me what 5 songs you're going to listen to. And he walks in the next list and he goes, okay, so I like Miles, I like Coltrane, I like Count Basie, I like Duke Ellington, and Buddy Rich. And I'm like, and those are not necessarily the names that he said, but I'm just rattling off 5 different jazz names. And I'm amazed that within a week's time, he's already acquainting himself with the vocabulary of jazz. So we sit down and go, what song you want to play? He goes, oh, let's do All Blues by Miles Davis. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is really quite an achievement. He sits down and he plays it. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's like a natural talent. He's going to crush this. And he goes to the audition 4 weeks later. Now, mind you, he's had 7 weeks, 8 weeks of jazz drumming. He walks in and he grabs the first chair in the AJO band, the first big band. This is like the top players in the school. And he's a freshman. He's like, what, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever grade it was. I mean, he was young. And he's like, I'm doing this. I'm like, you're kidding me. And he goes, no, I got in. I'm like, unbelievable. So Keelan has been crushing it ever since. He's been at New York City several times, playing in the Duke Ellington competition with Whit Marsalis judging, and the school's done extremely well, and the jazz program is exceptional. And so I want to bring up Keelan, and then the other player that's coming up, his name is Cash Lane, and Cash Lane was in the popular music program, and during his last semesters of the school, he was getting a little frustrated because he wanted to play. He wanted to go on tour. And certainly enough, he got a tour. Jason Bonham's son, John Bonham's son, he's a drummer as well. His son is a singer, and Cash got the tour to go on tour to open up for Jason Bonham's experience, the Led Zeppelin experience. What a great experience. And meanwhile, the school is like saying, well, we're going to fail you because you're missing all these classes. And he's going, what am I doing here? I'm going to leave. And he goes, leaves the school, gets his graduate degree online for his last year, but he's on tour the entire time. So Cash is going to come up later and play bass. And he just told us yesterday, was it yesterday? Or the day before that he's coming up to play bass with us. Yeah, so he's going to come up and play a Chick Corea tune. So, okay, so let me bring up Keelan Lamb. Anyway, hands for these guys. They're talented. They're really good. And please. And Dave's going to introduce his student that's coming up later as well. Thanks.
And I'll announce at this time, Bob is going to kick this tune off. Here's a great arrangement of a Thelonious Monk composition called Around Midnight, and that's what we're going to play right now. Bob Elefante, everybody, on the fretless bass. Around midnight, Bob Lafontaine. Lamb on the drums, is it right, Jake? Huh? Keelan Lamb. How about again for Keelan, man? Oh, and I got to say something. My man, a lot of young drummers have the facility and the skill, but to play jazz, you have to be able to swing. And this kid can swing, man. He really can. All right, well, I'm going to play a brand new composition right now. And this is actually going to be a dedication piece too, because I wrote it for someone very special. I'm not going to embarrass her by calling her out right now or having her come up on the stage. But you know, when you get inspired, you get inspired. And normally when you write something, it takes days to write instrumental compositions. But I wrote this in a day. And then and we had already come up with a set list for this tune. And I said, guys, I sent him an email and I sent him the chart. We got one more tune, and this is it. So, like I said, this is a special dedication going out to someone very special, and it's entitled Cheryl. Thank you very much. Yeah, brand new, first time we performed it. All right. We're ready for one of yours. Are we getting? Sunny's night. Okay, cool. We're going to do another Baba composition. And this is one we haven't played before. But this is inspired by the great Sonny Rollins. Right, Baba? Well, yeah, actually, hello. It's in the title. It's called Sonny's Night. Bob Elefante. Sunny's Night. Okay, we're going to bring up Cash right now. That's Bob's student who's going to come up and play bass. And I'm going to have a student of mine come on, Kanye, come on up. And we're going to do a Chick Corea composition right now when these guys get set up. Oh. Did Kanye take off? Is he here? Is he in the restroom or something? Uh-oh. Bad timing, huh? Just our luck. I didn't give him a set list, so he didn't know. You gotta go, you gotta go. Bass solo. Uh-oh. The table's gone. Did they take off? This is an odd moment. Okay, give us one. Yeah. I was gonna check. There he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kanye. This is Kanye de Oliveira. He's a student of mine at Orange Coast College, and when he's ready, oh, I like your interlude. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna dance. No, I'm not gonna do that. Thanks, Kathy. My old neighbor. You know, I've got people from all different walks of life. Lonnie, where are you? I got an old student of mine from the 1980s. There you are. He came to me at La Habra Music. I was still in college. Lonnie Hand right here. It's so good to see you. My God, I mean, that is going back. And all the people, all my students from Orange Coast College. And I've got some old neighbors when I used to live in Brea on our Middle Creek contingency. How about it, guys? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're interested in Vienna beef? Go talk to Kathy. She'll hook you up. Are we all set? All right. We're going to play a Chick Corea composition entitled Spain. Kanye and Cash, all right, guys. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Not just being in a room, not just being in a classroom, but getting up and doing it. And you guys did well. Wonderful job. Well, we've come to that part of the evening where we've got one more tune. This is not one of ours. So we're Cash Kanye, once again, yeah. But I'm not gonna tell you the name of this tune. It's an arrangement, it's one of Baba's arrangements. It's a little off the beaten path, but we're gonna let you guess what it is. But before we play this, I just wanna say thank you so much for coming out tonight, all of you. We just really appreciate it. Last time we did this gig was in November, and it was raining, and a lot of people were deterred by that. But you know, it's hardly doing that right now. So thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Once again, Baba Elefante on the bass, Mr. Jake Jacobs on the drums and percussion. My name's Dave Murdy. We love you. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming. Gentlemen.
Yeah, baby, come on, let's hear it for Dave Murdy and this trio. And how about that Keelan on drums, Cash on the bass, Kanye on guitar, come on. Love to have a next generation here, it's always fantastic. Because exceptional music, it transcends generations. It goes on and on and on, you know, because certain cycles in music just kind of come and go. But that which is exceptional lives on. So let's pass that tradition on. I appreciate all three of these guys because these guys are mentors and teachers for what's coming next. So, and I don't know, if you get a chance, you see this little riffing thing go by, scan that and read a couple of those blogs because one thing about it, first of all, what this space right here is all about, you've maybe heard me say this before, but it's about amplifying that which is real, that which is human, that which is exceptional, which is done by what I call music natives, those who speak music as a primary language. Those,
Amen.
I mean, there's a whole breed of that, you know. I mean, I always say it's kind of like I love the basketball thing with Magic Johnson, because for me growing up, I grew up in Detroit, and actually got to sit on the bench when our high school got wiped out by Lansing Everett, which was Magic Johnson's school. He scored like 60 points in a high school game, you know, flying dunks from the top of the key kind of thing. So he was always been like, you know, Magic Johnson's always been in my blood. But I could go out right now. In fact, with some of you, we could go out and do a pickup game of basketball, and we'd have a good time. But you know what? It's nothing like going to a Laker game, especially nothing like Showtime back in the day. Same thing with exceptional musicians, music natives who speak music as a primary language. Those are the elite. Those are who are born with something special. Those who have worked hard and through incredible discipline have taken that gift which God has given them and taken it to a place, to a higher plane where the rest of us, you know, kind of mere mortals just kind of get to sit back and enjoy the conversation that these guys have. So anything that encourages that, that is the future because the machines are going to be able to make some pretty great music. Right now, any of you could go prompt a pretty good pop tune. You really could. You're going to be able to make the music that you know, could imagine. But one thing you can't make is that which happens in that conversation among exceptional humans who speak music. So this is the stage where that happens. This is what we're all about here at Campus JAX. Live music performed by real humans in front of a real audience who gets to enjoy that conversation. And so you guys, thanks again for coming out, being a part of this conversation. Dave, it's always great to have you here. Now, unfortunately, Dave's show for the MURDY Trifecta, it's sold out tomorrow night. So we can't, so if you don't already have tickets for the Tijuana Dogs tomorrow night, sorry about that. But the Tijuana Dogs will be back with Dave Murdy, of course, on April 24th. There's still some tables left for that show. That's your birthday? 3 days. Well, we'll act like it's your birthday then. Yeah. And then, of course, this trio will be back sometime, probably late summer or right when school gets started again. And you know, we'll do that again. So thanks again. Thanks for coming to Campus JAX. Our next Steamers Jazz at Jax show is in 2 Thursdays, so come on out and join us. We'll see you soon, like we always say. Get home safe, but come back often. See you soon.
Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it.